We're going to go to get that next guest up at the box as we speak. Honestly, y'all, we're going to do a marathon live today. I typically only stay live for 4 hours. I'm gonna stay longer for a little bit longer than today. What's going on, Chumpy? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Are you driving?
I'm in a vehicle. I'm not the one driving now.
Cool. Can you have your driver say hi real quick?
Hello.
Sweet. Take it away. By the way, is your mic connected to your car? And if so, do you think you might be able to turn off your Bluetooth?
It is not connected, but we're going to be pulling over here in 5 minutes, and I'll be getting out. So.
Sweet. Yeah. I mean, do you just want to stay on mute? I know the background noise is fine. Take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Personally, I believe that one of the greatest parts about this country is that I know my wants and needs for president will be completely different from the next person's. And I think the greatest part about the country is every 4 years, 4 to 8, to be specific, I guess, we have a chance to, over the course of time, everybody can have a president that met their needs that they needed at that time. Me personally, I'm a small business owner. I live in a small town. Or I'm trying to live in a small town again. It's kind of getting expensive, but personally, Trump's views, I'm not going to say I agree with 100% of everything he does or says. That'd be a little delusional, I believe. But for me personally, and my rights that I believe in, Trump has fought the most for those specifically.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. I appreciate you for being kind, respectful, and seemingly good faith. But I mean, you just talked for maybe about a minute or two, and I don't feel like I've heard a reason. So in 2 sentences or less, why do you support Trump?
I don't believe in gun control.
Out of the last 2 administrations, what is the only administration to pass gun control?
I know Biden did.
No, he didn't. Trump did. Trump passed the bump stock ban, and not only was that gun control, but it was ruled as unconstitutional by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Meaning that Donald Trump literally violated your Second Amendment rights.
It was harder for me to purchase a gun under Biden than it was under
Not because
Trump.
of any federal law. Not because of any federal law. What was the federal gun control law that Biden passed that made it harder for you to buy a gun?
Because I was under 21. When I very first turned 18, I went and bought a gun. As soon as Biden became president, about a few weeks after, I had to wait a minimum of a month and a half before I could take home a gun that I purchased.
Please just answer my question. What is the federal gun control that was passed by Biden that made it harder for you to buy a gun?
If you're under 21, there's an automatic at least 14-day waiting period in order to buy a gun.
Okay, well, first of all, that's good, but second of all, what federal law was that?
I don't know the exact law.
Okay, because I don't think it was a federal law. It's likely that this was state or local law. Okay, so it wasn't even Biden, but I agree with that. That's fine. That's
guns aren't controlled on the state level for the most part.
That's not true.
I live in an extremely pro-gun state.
Wait. The last thing that you said is fundamentally false. The last thing that you said, that there's not gun control on the state level, that is by and large objectively false. That's like saying that taxes, there's not state controlled taxes. Saying that there's not state controlled gun regulation is saying that there's not state controlled taxes. Objectively, if you were to go to Alabama right now, you're going to be able to get your hands on a firearm about 10 times easier than if you were in Colorado or California.
You're right. I'm sorry. Let me reword. The background checks that you go through in order to purchase a gun are not state level background checks. They go through federal.
Wait. Elon literally called Trump a pedo and saying that he's deranged. Beast! Oh, wait, did he just tweet that out? I gotta go look at it. Thank you for the $10 saying that, Ryan. Thank you so much, Ryan, as well as Anita. Thank you for the 50 pounds over on YouTube Super Chat. Saying, love your videos, sending love and support from Austria. I'm watching your videos while painting. This is great. Have fun painting, Anita. And thank you so much for the 50-pound Super Chat. As well as Sylvia with the $20 on Venmo, just saying I'm 40. Yeah, we have older viewers in here. Shout out Sylvia for the $20. Thank you. As well as Marianne, thank you for the $20 on Venmo for doing what you do. celebrate. Oh, we're celebrating today. Thank you so much for the $20, Marianne. And Kelly with a $50 donation on Venmo, saying that vindication is a beautiful thing. You said it from the start that all of this would happen. Yes, I've said all of this from the start. From the start, I've been saying all of this. Thank you for the $50, Kelly. Huge shout out to Kelly. That is Kellye. Thank you for the $50. That is so incredibly kind of you. As well as Odessa. Thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you guys so much for the love. Holy crap, you guys are going crazy. As well as Natalia with a $10 over on PayPal and Holly with a 5. You guys are great. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you think that Bill Clinton should have been impeached? Should have been impeached for cheating on his wife with Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office, then hiding it from the American people, and then lying about it to all of our faces?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know very much about Bill Clinton, but from what you said, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that, I guess.
Okay. Do you think that Nixon should have been impeached for the Watergate scandal?
Yes.
Okay, so if Nixon should have been impeached for engaging in the Watergate scandal and hiding it from the American people, then you would agree that Donald Trump should be impeached for engaging in the Epstein scandal, promising to release the Epstein files and never getting around to it, and concealing them from the American people because he was named in them and he didn't want the American people to know that.
I would say, personally, this is my view, and it might seem quite extreme. I really came on here to try to show that there's some normal people on this side, because I've watched you all day.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I appreciate that, but I think that a normal person would reject Trump right now. I'm sorry. I'm just I say that with total utmost confidence and conviction. If somebody isn't ignorant and is educated on the bad things that Trump has done, and unfortunately you decided to join this live, so I'm gonna make sure I educate you. It's if you still decide to support Donald Trump after these things, I can't think that you're normal, right? For instance, just talking about Epstein specifically. I mean, Donald Trump went on record talking about Epstein, saying that quote unquote Epstein's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Okay, and then he got accused of raping 13-year-old Katie Johnson with Epstein, and this all happened years ago. And now we're learning that he's concealed the Epstein files and not released them to the public because he's named in them. Okay, this is a scandal that is larger than Watergate, and you thought that Nixon should have been impeached for that. So it'll obviously follow that you'd think that Donald Trump should be impeached for this. And I mean, this is just simply scratching the surface.
Personally, I believe that if Trump is proved to be a pedophile beyond reasonable doubt, he should be humanely euthanized or castrated. That's my belief on pedophiles.
Yo, hold on. I'm going to play you a clip. This is Donald Trump on Howard Stern's podcast speaking about his experiences at Miss Teen USA. I can't even believe that you just said that. I'm going to put your mic on mute. There's some wind, but just listen in.
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
what you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right. I want to make sure that everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
And this is Donald Trump talking about Miss Teen USA, that a teenager contestant, some as young as 15. In fact, one of these teenagers that Donald Trump walked into the changing room of, their name is Victoria. They're a woman now, and they come up onto the live every once in a while, and they'll talk about how Donald Trump would walk backstage on them while they were naked. So I mean, how do you feel about possibly getting a visit from the Secret Service? Because you just openly called for the unaliving of the current sitting U.S. president. Click on your profile picture. Click the icon on the mic. Linda, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal, saying icing on the cake. Tesla stock took a huge hit today. It's just going to piss Elon off more, and it's going to make him get even more crazy on Twitter. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, Chum, I'm going to show you how to unmute yourself. By the way, for everybody watching, I've sent him 3 requests to unmute.
Sorry.
There you go. You're going to figure it out.
I thought I've been talking. Sorry. trying to water my dog real quick. But
So what are your thoughts on that?
I personally don't think I called for the unaliving of a president. I called for the unaliving of pedophiles.
Okay, I just played you a clip where he talked about how much he loved to perv on naked teenagers. I mean, connect the dots.
I think that's disgusting, and I personally don't agree with it.
Okay, well, is that P30ophilic?
Yes, I would say so.
Connect the dots. Secret Service will be at your door in less than 24 hours. Shit. So if you think he should DIE, why do you support him being our president?
Well, I am going to be honest with you. I didn't know any of this till I joined this live. This is not something that's broadcasted very often.
Beautiful. This is what I said earlier. I said that, yeah, like, unfortunately, you've decided to join the live, and I'm going to educate you. And if you still decide to support Trump after, right, I'm spitting these facts. Like, I just can't simply perceive you as normal. Like, can you, like, understand my perspective there? Like, isn't it fair for me to say that I can't think you're a normal person if you still decide to go on and support Trump after all of this?
I'm not saying that I still support Trump. I'm saying that I'm taking what you say into account.
Base. I mean, yeah, that's awesome,
Obviously,
bro.
I'm going to do more research and digging to form my own opinion better. But I definitely will look into it more, for sure.
All right, well, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not necessarily. I just really kind of wanted to get on here. I've been watching all day. I've been in and out of service. I've been trying to request, but I've been in and out of service at work. So,
All right, well, listen, at the end of the day, I appreciate you for coming up and not being, like, hostile. But, like, I mean, I seriously do hope that you end up revoking your support for Trump.
for sure, I appreciate you not being hostile as well. I do not support anyone on this side or anyone on the right or left being aggressive or hostile towards each other. I think it's time for everyone to come together as a country and spread love.
What if I told you that the only way for us to come together as a country would, like, require some level of hostility towards, like, a particular, like demographic that, like, supports Trump, like, die-heartedly, and they're just unwilling to revoke their support because they're literally cult members? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it's okay to be hostile. Like, imagine that I rolled you that clip and you're like, no, I still fuck with him. You know, he's still my dog, still my prez, right? Like obviously I'd probably, like, raise my voice a little bit, get a little angry and hostile, and I guess I wouldn't see much of an issue with that. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. Appreciate you for coming up, Trumpy. We're going to go and get that next Trump support on the line, everybody. Just give us a minute. Yeah, Elon Musk tweeted again. He just retweeted a video of Trump partying with Epstein in 92. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm loving it. Living for this shit. Please crash out. Continue to crash out, Elon. Expose it all. Expose it all. Burn it all down, Elon. Burn it all down, Elon. You know, Elon lives terribly interesting life. He spends $100 million to get a fascist elected, and then he fucking burns the world down trying to get the fascist thrown out of office. Romeo, thank you for the money gun. Wow. Hello, Jacob. Do you support Trump?
Holy shit. What's going on, Dean? Goddamn, I was going to say, man, I support you, bro. I support everything you and Parker are doing. I support the whole liberal and Democrat movement, all right?
Base, WU. All right, well, we are just looking for people that support Trump. All right, guys, we're looking for that next guest, everybody. Wow, look at that. Cora, thank you so much for my, sorry for, not my fiance, your fiance. Thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo to shout out your fiance, Lauren. Sorry, Cora. Lauren's not my fiance. That's your fiance. Yo, let's show some love to Lauren down below in that comment section right now. And once again, thank you so much for the $15 donation on Venmo, Cora, as well as Mary. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. Mary says, here's to the downfall of that orange prick. Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day it is. What a beautiful day it is. What a beautiful day it is. If you're MAGA, let us know down below in that comment section. We'll get you loaded into the live. Joy, you're spamming MAGA down below. Let's go ahead and get them up here. We got Joy loading into the box right now. Joy, what's going on? Apparently you're MAGA? Somebody spamming the N-word. My apologies, chat. Sorry, you got to hear that. What's up, DJ? Are you MAGA? All right, this is what it is, everybody. Listen. It is so hard for me to get debates in here because nobody wants to defend his ass.
Yo, bro, why do you only accept requests from followers?
Do I have that setting on? Did it make you follow me in order to request?
Fuck yeah, I don't want to follow you.
That's funny. I didn't even know I had that on. Yeah, fuck you, Marty. All right, what's the beef, bro? What's the beef?
Bro, like, let's just set some guidelines for the debate before we go in, because I wouldn't want to be microaggressive towards you. I don't want to be microaggressive.
Yeah, I doubt that. So, okay, all right.
That's sarcasm. I think you're ridiculous. I think your whole ideology is ridiculous.
All right, what's the beef, bro?
Bro, I just think the whole thing with your fucking tour shit, that was a publicity stunt, right? Like, there's no
calm down, G.
Dude, I'm calm, bro. I'm chilling.
Tell us why you support Trump.
I support Trump because he doesn't fucking deal with microaggressions.
Okay, so he deals with macroaggressions, like calling all black people lazy or telling people not to vote for Obama because he's black. That must mean he's from Africa.
He didn't say don't vote for Obama because he's black.
Yeah, he absolutely did. He perpetuated the birther myth of Barack Obama. So the birther myth of Barack Obama is the idea that Obama was not born in America, but was rather born in Kenya. And of course, there's like no evidence that he's born in Kenya, and he had a birth certificate from Hawaii. And of course, the only reason why people said that is because he's black, right?
Yeah, but he didn't say don't vote for him because of that.
Well, I mean, that's the implication of the birther myth. Because what does that mean?
You have to be an American citizen.
In order to qualify to run for the presidency, you have to be a natural U.S. born citizen, correct? But if he was born in Kenya and was an immigrant, then he would not be a natural U.S. born citizen, which would mean he would be constitutionally eligible to run for the presidency. So the entire purpose of the birther myth was to literally get people not to vote for Obama, because the implication there is that he was not constitutionally eligible to run, and nobody cared except for the people that engaged in the use of the birther myth.
It wasn't because of the color of his skin, though. It was to take down a political opponent.
Oh, really? Yeah, go ahead and tell me when Donald Trump has used his takedown of a political opponent that was white. Oh, wait.
Well, what else would he say? Hillary?
Great. Then also, yeah, Hillary Obama Clinton? Wasn't his political opponent, silly goose.
Yeah, but
but Hillary Clinton was his political opponent. Did he say that Hillary Clinton was born in Africa?
When Joe Biden was in office, that's for sure. So basically, he was.
Wait, who did he run against?
He ran against Joe Biden, but when Joe Biden was in office, Obama was the one.
Wait. When Obama was in office, did we know that Joe Biden would run for president in the future?
No, Joe Biden was the vice president.
You're the dipshit because you're the one that's saying that he was just lying to take down a political opponent. Come on, bro. Chloe, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love.
You're on different sides.
Is it okay to use racism to try to take down political opponents?
That's not racism. You're twisting it up, just like the fucking.
Wait. What's the motivation to believe that he was born in Kenya? No. Listen to me. What was the motivation to believe that he was born in Kenya? Explain it to me like I'm 5.
It's not racism. It's
then what is it? No. What was the motivation to believe that the black man was born in Kenya?
It doesn't matter. It's not racism. You're painting.
So then what is it? Then tell me what was the motivation?
Just like your little unfuck America tour. You don't want to talk about because I'm right.
You want to talk about Obama? Tell me what was the motivation for expansion in the belief that he was born in Kenya?
You brought up Obama.
Yeah, because you said you didn't vote for him because he doesn't engage in he engages in macroaggressions. And here's a great example. Tell me what was the motivation to believe that Obama was born in Kenya?
Sorry, repeat that.
Why didn't they say that Obama was born in Sweden? Why didn't they say that Obama was born in America?
Why does it matter?
Yeah, it matters because it's racism, and racism matters, little bro.
Yeah, of course racism matters, but that's not racism.
Okay.
Just like the unfuck America tour wasn't racism at all. Okay. Bro, Charlie Kirk made a video and was spot on.
Listen, I totally expect you to not believe that microaggressions are racism if you don't think that macroaggressions are racism. I just want to clarify, you were literally sitting on my live right now and trying to convince me and everybody else listening.
Macroaggressions. Give me another macroaggression. I'll tell you if it's racism.
Sure, he called all black people lazy.
That's macroaggressions. That's racism.
Okay, so Donald Trump's a racist.
What I mean, that's a racist remark. I don't know if he himself was a racist. You said the N-word before. Are you a racist?
No, I'm not. And the difference between me and Trump is that I've been able to change the quality.
Didn't he also open up a lot of jobs for black people too?
Great. Are you gonna let me finish?
Yeah, I mean, then respond to what I said after.
Yeah, there's 3 differences between me and Trump. First of all, he was a grown fucking man and a billionaire at that. I was 14, but age doesn't matter. What does matter is the fact that I was able to change my character, grow and become a better person. I was able to acknowledge that what I did was wrong and actively apologize for what I did while actively becoming a better person. Can you please give me any example of Donald Trump acknowledging that the racist remarks, things that he said and done in the past have been wrong and that he's tried to change his character and apologize for them? Has he ever taken accountability for a damn bad thing he's done in his life, sir?
Has Donald Trump ever taken accountability?
For any racist thing he's
Give
ever
me an
done.
example where he hasn't taken accountability.
Sure, he's never taken accountability for calling all black people lazy. He's never taken accountability for calling for the death penalty for the exonerated Central Park Five. In fact, the moderator at his first debate with Hillary Clinton asked him to take accountability, and he said, fuck no. He never took accountability for perpetuating the birther myth of Barack Obama, as I already pointed out. He's never taken accountability for raping E. Jean Carroll. In fact, his accountability was literally calling for her to be incarcerated.
We can talk about that.
He's never taken accountability for being in the Epstein files. We could talk about that too.
Right.
In fact, he's been intentionally hiding the Epstein files from the American people because he was naming them, making one of the biggest political cover-ups in modern American history.
You're not smart because you talk fast, bro. Just say one thing, I'll address it.
You're right. I'm not talking fast. You're listening slow.
Donald. Okay, that's the dumbest thing. That's the cringiest thing I've ever heard. Please don't ever say that again. That you just embarrassed yourself in front of your fans. Donald Trump did so many good things for black people. He literally didn't he sign legislation to fund black colleges and universities?
So now that was the most embarrassing thing that's been said in our conversation so far. The reason why I say that is because he cut funding in half compared to what Obama was giving them.
You know, he funded it too.
Sir, let's see. If you're, how do I want to? Okay, so Obama, he gave
Our
HBCUs.
black unemployment rates were also at a. I'm pretty sure they were at a historic low. When
So
Donald
before
Trump
we
was
move on to unemployment rates, listen to what I have to say. So Obama funded HBCUs $2 billion every 4 years. Donald Trump cut that in half to $1 billion every 4 years. So is it that? So imagine that you're an employer. And
No, it increased federal funding. What are you talking
That's not
about?
true.
Yes, it is. Where's your
Where's
source? You give me a source. You're claiming that he cut it.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Wait, well, okay. First of all, you're the one that claimed that he increased it, but I'll be a nice guy nonetheless.
How about we both find a source?
Wait, actually, I know the source. Have you ever watched my Jubilee video?
No, I haven't watched your Jubilee video.
Yeah, so I did a 1v15 on Jubilee. So they have this fact checker called Sand Fact Checker, and they're actually right-leaning. They were like critiquing a lot of things that I said in my Jubilee video with no reason. But one fact check that they gave is I was having the same exact conversation with one of the Trump supporters at the beginning of the video, and they fact checked it, and they provided the evidence to demonstrate the claim is true. So I'm actually just going to go on Google. I'm going to type in Dean Withers Jubilee. Then I'm going to scroll on to the guy that I know is having the conversation with about the same fucking topic. And I'm just going to give you the sand fact check. Yeah, there it is. Okay, awesome. So this is a sand fact check. So Trump signed the Future Act in 2019, making it $255 million in annual funding for HBCUs permanent. So in other words, this is half of what Obama had sent to HBCUs, which was $500 million per year.
From the WhiteHouse.gov, Donald Trump signed the Future Act into law in 2019, which permanently provides $255 million in annual funding for HBCUs.
Hey, buddy, how much did I say he gave them in funding over his 4 years?
What? The number I just said?
I said that he gave him $1 billion. What's 250 times 4?
Okay, well, Obama did more, but you're saying Trump
Thank
did
you.
nothing. You're saying Trump did nothing.
No, that's not what I said. Stop being disingenuous.
That was
I said
the argument.
he
The
did less.
bedrock of your argument is Trump is racist and he doesn't do anything for black people.
You specifically referenced funding to HBCUs, and I said that he cut it in half compared to Obama's administration. And then you asked me for a source. I give you a source to demonstrate that what I'm saying is true, and now you need to concede.
But I'm not conceding because I just said he provided $250 million. The argument wasn't who provided more. The argument is what Trump did.
Wait. So I'm sorry. If you're an employer, okay, and you have an employee that you pay $60 an hour, and then for whatever fucking reason, one day you cut that in half and you start giving them $30 an hour for the same work, was that a good decision? Are you still a very kind person for giving them $30, even though it's cut in half from what was given to them previously?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. It objectively fucking matters.
Argument, though. That's a different argument.
You can absolutely not parade this as an accomplishment of something good that Donald Trump is doing for black people when it's proactively harming black people compared to what their material conditions were before his presidency, you lunatic.
That wasn't our debate, though. Our debate was what Trump did for black people, not what he didn't do or not what Obama did more.
So the reason that Obama funding HBCUs more than Trump matters is because it shifts the conversation from, well, Trump gave them $1 billion to Trump cut to the idea that Donald Trump cut their funding $1 billion. Can we agree that Donald Trump cut funding to HBCUs every 4 years by $1 billion?
Okay, yeah, but we can also agree.
Right, and that's an example of how he's not racist. You got a great argument, Marty.
Fucking Obama. And I'm not up here shitting on Obama. I never said Obama was a bad president. We're talking about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden against Donald Trump, right?
Okay, I have a question. Do you think that Nixon should have been impeached by Congress for the Watergate scandal?
I don't even know. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
I'm
no doubt,
20.
no doubt. Do you think that Bill Clinton should have been impeached for cheating on his wife with Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office and then lying about it to the American people?
That was a very bad thing to do, but I don't think he should have been impeached.
Right, because if you did say that he should be impeached, then you would have never voted for Trump in the first place because he's cheated on 3 of his wives. Okay, I see. You're trying to win the debate. Okay. Do you think that Donald Trump should be
Stop
impeached?
saying what I think.
Do you think that Donald Trump should be impeached for being in the Epstein documents, then hiding and specifically concealing the Epstein documents from the American people and not releasing them, even though he said he would release them specifically because he was named?
We need. Okay, I can talk to you about that. We need more. We need more on that. We need more. If it comes out that it's confirmed that if he's convicted, then yeah, I do think so.
Oh,
But
wait. So if
as of right now,
if a court finds him guilty of it, you'll believe it. So when a court found him guilty of raping,
no. If you're gonna reference E. Jean Carroll, don't even bother. Don't even bother. We're not going to talk about that civil court case, which was an absolute joke. She came out, which is like 20 years after it happened, when he's running for president. This is an absolute joke. She doesn't even remember where it was, when it was. She doesn't even remember half of the details.
Yeah, same old talking point. So yeah, she actually indicated that it was in the changing room of a very particular retail store. I can't give you the name of the retail store because I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. It's like Borgman Goodman or some shit like that. And she did indicate that, yes, indeed, the year was 1994 in which it occurred. So you just straight up lied. You also tried to shit on her coming out 20 years later. Okay, well, 60% of women that get raped never report it to the authorities in their lifetime. So why would we shit on one that comes out 20 years after the fact? Like, I don't know, have a fucking half of a brain. And then you also said that she did this because he was running for president. No, she actually indicated in the court proceedings that she did this because her parents died, and she only was willing to come out about it after her parents died. And the reason she was only willing to come out about it after her parents died was because she was too embarrassed to have her parents know. See, that's what happens when we have a society that blames victims. But I'd like to say, even if she did only come out about it because he was running for president, that would make her one of the greatest American patriots that has ever fucking lived. I mean, what if your rapist was running for president? You already know off rip that half of the country is going to be loyal to the bone to protect them. You already know off rip that half of the country is going to fucking hate your blood and guts and treat her like you're treating her simply because she was public about the fact that your savior, Jesus 2.0, raped her. But she wanted the American people to know exactly who they were supporting, who exactly was running for the presidency, and exactly who they were voting for. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Sounds to me like this just paints her to be an American patriot.
Dude, you're a gaslighter. Holy shit. No one's blaming victims. We're talking about Donald Trump, the most hated man in America. Like, I literally just told you.
Yo, my opinion is that he should be more hated.
If he should be, that's not possible. Literally, why would everybody wants Donald Trump locked up? And this is a way to get him locked up.
You don't want criminals locked up? Jeez, I guess he's not a member of the party of law and order. He's not the party of law and order, guys.
Yeah. Can you even debate without muting people, by the way? Or like,
I haven't muted you this whole conversation. What the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, I wasn't even talking and you muted me.
I haven't muted you this entire conversation.
It literally just said your microphone has been turned off by the live creator. I didn't even say anything.
Has anybody heard this guy turn his mic off?
You muted me, you fucking dimwad.
Bro, you literally just said in one consistent statement that a debate without
You're rage baiting. You're rage baiting, dog.
What the hell are you talking about?
You just muted me twice. You can't debate me without muting me.
What the fuck?
Hey, let's talk about the case.
What the hell's going on?
You muted my mic when you were making the statement. Idiot.
I muted you at all. What the hell?
Okay, you're rage baiting. Let's get back to the topic.
What the hell? Okay, nice lie, buddy.
That's not a lie. Dude, find me evidence that shows that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, and I'll believe you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the evidence would be therapist notes from the 90s indicating that she was indeed raped by Donald Trump, and those therapist notes aligning with her own testimony as well as the testimony of 7 others. As well as I'd say that the most convicting evidence set forth was the fact that she had a dress that she claimed she was raped by Donald Trump in, and she claimed that had Donald Trump's DNA on it. So the judge then took that dress, tested it for male DNA, found out there was indeed unknown male DNA on it, and then the judge turned around and they were like, "Oh, hey, Trump. E. Jean Carroll Carroll claims this is yours, would you mind submitting your DNA to the court so it could be tested against the DNA on the drafts? Also, like, keep in mind, if he did that and he was innocent and it wasn't his DNA, E. Jean Carroll's whole case would have fucking fell to bits and pieces because it would have been objectively disproven insofar as the claims in which he was making. But guess what Donald Trump did? He said, no, I'm not going to submit my DNA to this court. I'm not going to do it. That sounds like something that a guilty man would do. Let me ask you a question. If you were soberly driving on a road without any alcohol in your system and a officer pulled you over and suspected you of drunk driving and they asked you to take a breathalyzer, would you do it?
Sure.
Okay, but what if you were drunk driving and an officer pulled you over suspecting you of drunk driving and then they asked you to take the breathalyzer? Keep in mind, you're not legally obligated to. Would you do it?
Obviously not. That's two different things.
Well, actually, you just demonstrated the
compare these
one-to-one
two
analogy. The one-to-one analogy. Any reasonable person in Donald Trump's shoes would have given their DNA, given that they're innocent, as well as any non-reasonable person, because they would be a rapist, wouldn't have given their DNA, given that they were guilty. And guess what? Donald Trump didn't give his DNA over. What does that tell us?
He offered his DNA actually eventually. Why? Okay, but think about it this way.
Now, let me clarify. He offered his DNA after the discovery period of the court closed, meaning that he couldn't submit any new evidence. That's like trying to offer Chick-fil-A your money in turn for an 8-count nugget on a Sunday. Obviously, they're not going to give it to you because they're closed.
Why do you not let anyone talk?
Yeah, feel free
Like,
to
I'm
talk.
trying to make a statement, bro.
I'm just cooking. I'm cooking too hard. You're right. I need to let
I'm
you
not
speak.
cooking anyone just because these weirdos in the chat be like, W. Dean, like you're not cooking. Like you are not. Bro, look at my points. Where was I? I just lost my train. Oh, yeah. I completely just lost my fucking train of thought. What were we talking about again?
You lost your train of thought because you're too busy talking about your 1.54 thousand points.
Yeah, no, because you said you were fucking cooking, which is not true.
Wait.
Okay,
Wait. And the proof that I'm not cooking you is because you have like over 1,000 points?
No, it was a fucking joke. Calm down.
Wait, what was the punchline?
I don't think you should be talking about punchlines. Have you seen the jokes you make on here? You're just listening slow. That was the cringiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, it's definitely not as cringy as you
Donald
supported
Trump. Okay, let's get back.
rapist, man. Let me get that one straight.
You're getting off topic.
I mean, you're the one that just talked about how many points you have. Who's getting off topic? Come on, bro.
Bro, it's like stop dwelling on it. Jeez, get over it.
I'll get over it.
Donald Trump's court case versus E. Jean Carroll was on a public stage. If you and I gets pulled over for DUIs, whatever, that no one's gonna know about that. Like in the scandalous world of politics, why would you want to make a big deal out of something that supposedly never happened?
Wait. Imagine that you were like an important figure, like a state governor, and you getting pulled over for a suspected DUI by a cop was on the public stage, and that could impact your career and reputation, but you were sober. You would only have even more reason to use the breathalyzer in that analogy. So it's funny because the difference that you pointed out between my analogy of the DUI and Donald Trump in court would only give us more reason to believe that Trump is guilty because he would be under more pressure to submit his DNA to the court to refute her claims, given that he was an innocent man. Get dunked.
That's not, buddy. I'm about to dunk on you. A breathalyzer, you just blow. They give you it, you blow into it, and you get the results right there. There's absolutely no way to fake it. There's no way to twist it. There's no absolute way you can change that. With a DNA test, you got to go through all these steps. You don't get it right away. It's got to get processed. It's got to come back. In the scandalous world of politics, I don't think it would be a smart idea for Donald Trump to give his DNA.
Wait, so you're saying that? Wait. So you're saying that we have more reason to believe that the court would fake his DNA and fake his guilt than we have reason to believe that he actually is guilty? I'm so sorry. What unanimous jury of 9 concluded that the civil court that held him liable would contort the evidence submitted to them and determine that it was his DNA, even though it wasn't. See, you're so fucking willing to accept speculative nonsense conspiracy theories, such as the idea that a court in America will falsely represent evidence and determine that it wasn't his DNA or that it was his DNA, even though it wasn't. And you're saying that somehow that speculative conspiracy theory is more likely to be true than the unanimous decision and verdict of 9 jurors? Bro, fucking ring, 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 planet Earth to Marty. Where the fuck are you? Fairy tale make-believe Delulu, like fucking cult, fucking contort reality to make it whatever I want land? Holy shit, get a grip, bro.
There was a mute right there, by the way.
It's because you interrupted me. My bad, bro.
I didn't interrupt you.
That's why I muted you, yes.
I think I said like one word, like sure. Like I didn't like do a whole sentence. I was like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like I didn't interrupt you.
So the yeah, okay, buddy is an interruption.
I didn't make a whole point like I'm about to right now. First of all, you're twisting my argument. I tell you something. This is what you liberals do. I'll tell you something, or like someone will tell you something, or maybe not you personally. I don't watch you a lot, but your party, and they'll fucking twist it. Like you'll twist the argument. Like, yeah, that's not what I said. I never said I would never believe Donald Trump is being guilty. Just like we talked with the Epstein list. If there's literal footage of that, I don't even care. I don't even want footage of him actually doing anything. I literally just want footage of. I'll take footage of him in the store with E. Jean Carroll. That's literally in the same room, not even talking to each other. That's what I'll take to believe it. But there's nothing. There's literally nothing. There's a dress with male DNA on it.
Okay. So your standard of evidence would be footage.
Yes, footage, audio.
Okay.
I'll take anything.
Okay, so you take audio. Do you mind if I test that? Do you mind if I could test your claim here to see if you're telling the truth?
It can't be an audio of someone claiming it happened. I need an audio.
No. Like, do you mind if I just test your standard of evidence here, being like an audio clip, like an admission of guilt? Do you mind if I just test that standard?
It depends on the audio. What are we looking at?
Particularly the audio of Donald Trump admitting that he perved on naked teenage girls at Miss Teen USA.
Oh, this Team USA. Yeah, yeah, sure, play it. I've heard it before. It's disgusting.
You worry about later. Oh, I see. You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And,
Well, you could also say that the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So, Mr. Marty, I'm going to calm down a little bit. We're going to slow this conversation down. We're going to be clear, and we're going to be good faith. So you told us that you would accept an audio clip as sufficient evidence to believe that Donald Trump had raped E. Jean Carroll. So my question is, will you accept that audio clip as sufficient evidence to believe that Donald Trump is a pervy old man that liked to barge into women's changing rooms to look at naked teenage girls?
Yeah, that's disgusting. That's gross. I mean, I've heard that. I've heard that before. It's gross. I don't support that.
Yet you still support Trump. So if like him perving on naked teenage girls and violating their consent is not enough reason for you to stop supporting Trump, then why would him raping E. Jean Carroll be enough reason for you to stop supporting Trump?
Okay, they're both incredibly bad things. The E. Jean Carroll thing is way worse than that. And that's saying a lot because that is also really bad. That's disgusting. And still,
okay, I have a question. Did Kamala Harris like perv on naked teenagers or like get held civilly liable for rape?
Can I finish or are you going to fucking interrupt me?
No, you're right. I did interrupt you. My bad.
This election is beyond Democrats and Republicans. This election it's honestly, it's Trump and it's Kamala or it's Joe Biden. It's the lesser of two evils, really, if you ask me. I think Donald Trump is just a better candidate than Kamala Harris. And if you come on these lives, like no one's views are going to change after one conversation. I'm going to leave this conversation. I'm still going to think Trump is a better candidate. Obviously, I don't think Trump is the fucking be all end all. Like it's disgusting. That's gross. I don't support that. I especially think when you're on a stage that big and you have a lot of people who look up to you, especially I'm sure kids look up to the president of the United States. It's a terrible look on the youth. But if you want to talk about the youth, we can also talk about the education system and what the liberals are painting on them.
Before we get there.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let's follow the logic. You agree that Donald Trump has been held civilly liable for rape. You admit
he's been civilly liable, yes.
And you admit that he definitely has like perved on naked teenage girls at Miss Teen USA. So
yeah, my
question is, well, you then went on to say, well, he's still the lesser of two evils. So this means that Kamala Harris had done worse evils. So what are the worst evils that Kamala Harris has done compared to, like, for instance, him perving on the naked teenagers?
Are we talking about politically or are we talking about character?
Any. I mean, like, worse evil in any sense of the word.
I think the word evil in the term that I'm talking about, I think that she's just the worst. I don't even know how she became the fucking candidate. I mean, I don't know.
Well, your lack of knowledge how she became the candidate certainly isn't a worse evil than Donald Trump perving on naked teenage girls.
Primary? Yes. She had 0 votes. I don't want to talk about this.
So that's not true. I mean, that's not true. And are you saying like the private practices of like the primary processes in the DNC, in which are equivalent to that of the RNC, is like makes Kamala Harris worse than like Donald Trump perving on naked teenagers? That's just completely incoherent gibberish.
the Republican Party holds. I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about the conservative ideology is more resonant with.
Okay, I just want to be clear because you're not answering my question. Would you like me to repeat the question that I'm asking you?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So yeah, you agree that Donald Trump was held civilly liable for rape. You agree that Donald Trump had perved on naked teenagers, but then you went on to say that you still support him because he's the lesser of two evils. This means that Kamala Harris has engaged in evils worse than being held civilly liable for rape or perving on naked teenagers. So what are the evils in which Kamala Harris is engaged in which is worse than those two things?
Kamala Harris, I told you she was a worse political candidate than Donald Trump. She was
like be specific, quantify the evils. Be very specific.
I don't know about character-wise, but I could tell you Joe Biden character-wise.
So she's definitely not the lesser of two evils in respect to the character. So are you saying that although Donald Trump's character is definitely the worst of two evils, he makes up for it via his policy?
If you're the coach of a basketball team, right? Would you want a really, really, really good player who's an absolute dick, or would you want a terrible player who's a really good guy?
I would take a terrible player who's a good guy over a really
you
good.
Wouldn't.
No, listen
That's
to me.
disingenuous.
I'd take a terrible player who's a good guy over a really good character who's like perved on naked teenagers. In fact, you can't call me disingenuous for saying this when this is like literally like the common understanding in society. Like when there's a sports player on any team, regardless of how good they are, if they're exposed for like being a pedophile, for instance, they could be fucking LeBron James. They're booted from the team, right? So I think that was like a perfect question for you to ask me because it only demonstrates my point to be true to a further extent.
Sucks, so that's a terrible analogy.
Yeah, you stay taking L's, bro.
The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, okay, so we have Kamala Harris elected into office, and then we just let these criminals run free, right? Like, do you want people like Kilmar Garcia in our country?
I think I want people like Kilmar Garcia to have due process.
That's disgusting.
Wait, then you also said that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was a criminal?
Kilmar Abrego Garcia can kick rocks. I don't give a shit.
Wait, I just want to clarify.
He's an MS-13 gang member who beat his wife.
Really,
There's audio of it.
Really, I have a question. So, sir, what court determined that he's a member of MS-13?
He had tattoos.
Oh, the tattoo said that he was a part of MS-13?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, something like that. Wrong picture. Oh, that's Tanner. Wrong picture.
That looks like you. Is that you?
So no, that was Tanner. Another guess.
Who the fuck is
So
that?
I just want to clarify that the tattoos above on his knuckles, above my head right here, this right here is more than enough evidence to convince you that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is certainly a member of MS-13, but then a unanimous ruling from a jury of 9 is not enough to convince you that
He's
he's
likely to be a member of MS-13. He's likely to be a member.
So explain to me why a ruling via a unanimous jury of 9 isn't enough to convince you that
Those are
Trump's a
gang
rapist.
symbols, dude.
But really? Explain them to me. By the way,
Or not those ones, but he has gang symbols on like his clothing and stuff like that. Not those ones specifically.
Really, what gang symbols?
I don't know. I'm not in a fucking gang. I don't know what gang symbols.
Wait. If you don't know that they're gang symbols, then how do you know that they're gang symbols?
Because it was on the news. Forbes. I read it on Forbes.
Okay, so you should be able to either like rehash what you read or like show me what you read or give me like any evidence that he had gang symbols. I mean, I think that the claim from like Pam Bondi was like a Chicago Bulls hat, right? That was a gang symbol.
Yeah, that's right. He had a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie that had images of like symbols that represent MS-13, like rolled up.
What were the symbols?
They were like mouths of like presidents rolled up in like bills or something like that. And
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the hoodie said "Smoke WEED till the day I die." So is Parker? So is Parker also a member of MS-13 since he's also going to do that until the day he dies?
Who?
Parker get a job, another creator just like me. So he's also a member of MS-13 because he's also going to smoke WEED until the day that he dies. And apparently, if that made Abrego Garcia a member of MS-13, that make Parker a member of MS-13 as well, right?
You guys are boys?
Yeah. Now answer my question, please.
Yeah, definitely not. That kid could not be the member in a fucking gang.
Oh, okay. So what's a relevant distinction between Abrego Garcia and Parker that would lead you to the conclusion that Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13,
Parker
but not
beat
Parker?
his wife?
So let me get this clear. Now the claim is that specifically speaking,
why can I have more than one reason, or can I only have one reason?
So you think that Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13 because you think he's beat his wife?
No. We'll deal with this right now, and then we'll go.
Yeah, because I want to know what's the evidence that he's a member of MS-13.
The attire that he wears is an interpretation or a representation of MS-13.
Really, explain the attire that he wore that
See no
represented
evil,
he was
hear
a
no
member of
evil, speak no
MS-13.
evil. Motive, which is a gang symbol.
Bro, my sister has a see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil sticker on the back of her fucking SUV.
Okay,
should my sister be sent to fucking goddamn Guantanamo Bay too?
Does your sister wear clothes with the fucking gang symbols, like the mouth of presidents covered up and rolled up bills?
Wait, show me them. Show me where I could find that. Or I guess gang. I'll even Google it. Gang symbols on Garcia's clothes.
You can go to Forbes article.
Okay, so what gang symbols? I'm still yet to see them.
You can go to Forbes article. That's what I'm on right now.
Forbes, what's the title?
It's called. It's a long title. Kilmar Abreu Garcia, alleged MS-13 gang member deported to El Salvador.
Oh wait, I have a question. What's the first word of the title?
Wait, let me finish this. Held the rank. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Wait. What was that word there that I heard? I think it's alleged.
Alleged, yeah, just like Donald Trump allegedly raped E. Jean Carroll.
Oh no, actually, because it goes from an allegation to a proved claim when it's processed and determined by a court.
Listen, the problem with you guys is.
I hate to be this guy. I got to thank a couple people for their donations real quick. Molly, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Molly says, can you please wish my mom, Babsy June, a happy birthday? Yo, happy birthday, Babsy June. That is Babsy. Could we please show some love to Babsy and Molly down below in the chat? Happy birthday, as well as Christian with a $25 donation over on PayPal, saying Reuters crisis meetings in the White House. Oh, I believe it. They're going to be in crisis mode all goddamn day long. Shout out Christian for the $20 and Shirley for the $75 donation over on PayPal. Says the girls are fighting. Well, they're definitely fighting. They're not girls though. They are grown men. Thank you for the $75 over on PayPal. Appreciate you for the love. The men are fighting. The men are fighting, Shirley. That's right. The men are fighting. Thank you for the $75, Shirley. As well as Sabella, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. Chloe with the $10 over on PayPal. Samantha with a $5. And then once again, Chloe with a 10. And actually, Chloe has something to say to you. This was 30 minutes ago, but it's still relevant. Chloe says, fuck you, Marty, and your ideology is ridiculous. Stay following.
You talking to me?
Yeah, she was.
Wow. I'm
and
really
Molly,
hurt.
thank you for another $10. Jennifer, thank you for the $25 over on Venmo. Jennifer says, caller is triggered by the mute button. Damn. You're going to get so triggered by a mute button, you snowflake.
What did she say?
Caller is triggered by the mute button?
Caller is triggered by the mute button?
Yeah, that's what she said.
You mean color?
Caller.
Oh, caller. Okay, wow. You guys are really, really funny.
Yeah, Lauren, thank you for the $10 over at Venmo as well. Shout out to Lauren. Just saying, I've learned so much from you. It's awesome, Lauren. I'm happy. Thank you for the $10. Then Alex, ALIX, with the $10 says, this guest Marty needs a real life mute button. He's just willfully not listening and is not willing to learn. How do you feel about what Alex says? So Alex says that you're not willing to listen and not willing to learn. And
I disagree. Rashad,
thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Is saying the Jews or Jews the same as saying black or blacks? Honestly, yeah, I would say it is. I'd say that we shouldn't say like black with an S at the end. The same that we shouldn't say Jew with an S at the end. I agree with that. I think I did earlier. I apologize for that. You're right.
You fucking kidding?
No, I'm not.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Why?
You're adding an S at the end of those, so you think it's racist, or?
Well, I mean,
are you serious?
What makes it wrong in my mind isn't the fact that you are changing the grammatical structure of the term by adding an S at the end, but rather how the term with an S at the end has been historically used. Like for instance, do you agree that it's wrong for like white people to say the N word?
Of course.
Okay. Now I agree that it's wrong, obviously, but I just want you to critically think here for a second. Why is it wrong for white people to say the N word?
Because it's a derogatory term against people of color.
And why is it derogatory?
What do you mean, why is it? Are you fucking serious?
Yes, I am. I agree it's derogatory, but we're critically thinking, we're exploring our reasons to see if a connection can be made.
It's derogatory because it was a term used during times of slavery.
Right, so it was a term used during times of slavery until now to oppress and dehumanize black individuals, to further uplift a system of slaughter, enslavement, and so on, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, shows the term like black with an S at the end. So it's not
Not
the,
really.
it's not the N word. However, like black with an S at the end is like used in like the same sense to like further like dehumanize black individuals, to further be derogatory towards black individuals, like to uplift systems of oppression. And like even like the term like Jew with an S at the end, like same thing was used by like Nazis, dehumanize Jewish people. Oh, they're just
I come from a
Jews,
Jewish
etc.
family.
You
I
know
don't
what
think
mean?
that's wrong at all. That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I don't think that you just merely saying that because you come from a Jewish family, you don't think it's wrong, therefore it isn't wrong. Like trumps my arguments, right?
That's just your microaggression bullshit. Like I think you guys need to have thick skin. Like I don't think that's wrong. I think saying the N-word is wrong. I don't think saying that's wrong. I don't think saying Jews is wrong. I think you just need to have thick skin. It's a tough world out there, Dean. You don't really know
but
that.
I listen. I understand like what you're saying. A lot of people on the right say it. They're like, oh, look at the people on the left. They're just super soy boy and whatnot. But you understand like this actually isn't a refutation of like the line of reasoning that I granted, right? And I want to make that clear to you as well as like to other right wingers. Okay, like. You know, you could think I'm like soy and like weird and a snowflake and whatnot for like critically thinking, but I was able to detail a logical connection insofar as the motivations that you possess that lead you to the conclusion that it's wrong to say the N-word, and others same motivations can apply identically to terms such as black with an S at the end or Jew with an S at the end, right? And it's like, I'm not trying to be like a soy boy. I'm just trying to think logically here, okay? Like if there's not a logical distinction, why would it make it okay to use one term but not the other, all right? It's like, I don't think I would use a term. I don't think you should either, like due to the reasons that I granted. Now, like, if you want to refute those reasonings, like, go for it. But just simply calling me a soy boy or telling me to have thick skin definitely doesn't refute it on its own. And it's not like I was fucking like canceling somebody for saying it. I was just merely explaining the reasons and agreeing with the donor that it's like a term that I shouldn't say. In fact, like I literally said it earlier, and my response was, yeah, I shouldn't say that. That's bad. You know what I mean? It's like fucking hell, man. We're just like engaging in nuanced thought. I mean, if that's not something that's for you, I mean, it makes sense because you're a Trump supporter, but I definitely don't think like the typical like zero brain cell, soy boy refutation is really meaningful in this context.
I didn't say you were a soy boy. I said you didn't have thick skin. I don't even know what that means, but
Yeah,
okay.
when you say thick skin, are you just saying that I shouldn't critically think about these things?
No, I didn't say that. I don't even think.
Okay, so wait. So I should critically think about these things.
You should critically think about things, not stuff like that.
So I shouldn't critically think about things like that.
In that particular instance, I think that's stupid.
Okay, why is it stupid to critically think?
Okay,
Do you understand how
give me
fuck?
another
Wait. Do you understand how like crazy that sounds? You just said it's stupid to critically think.
No, I said in that scenario. If you give me another scenario,
Yeah, you said it's stupid to critically think in any scenario. That's insane.
I never said that. You're
Yes, you
raging.
did.
What are you trying to do?
So
here,
is it
bro?
stupid or is it not stupid for me to critically think about like the usage
Critically
of like
thinking is a
particular
good thing
words?
to do. I don't think that calling people of color blacks or Jewish people Jews in a term like that is derogatory unless you say it like
Okay, then
unless you're like,
wait. So are you
unless
just
like,
saying it's not
those
derogatory
blacks.
for a white person to say the N-word unless like they're directing it towards black individuals in a negative way?
So someone donated to you and they said
Wait, now
use
answer my
it-
question. Because the synonymous conclusion here would be is that you also don't think it's wrong for a white person to say the N-word
interrupt all the
unless
time,
they're intentionally directing it at a black individual
Wait,
in a
repeat
negative
that. What did you
connotation.
say? What did you just say?
Yeah, do you like your logic here would also imply that it is not wrong for a white person to say the N-word unless they're
would you
intentionally
ever-
directing it at a black individual with a negative connotation?
Why would you ever twist an argument into something so disgusting into making someone think that I said that? Why would you?
Because you literally
ever
just
do
said that it's not wrong for a
No,
white person to say
you're
black
just-
with an S at
you're
the
just
end
losing
unless
the
they're
debate
directing
to
it towards a
twisting
black
argument.
individual with a negative intention. Use your brain.
The N-word is a significantly bad word than saying black.
Okay, I can agree that the N-word comes with significantly more baggage and moral weight and moral condemnability compared to the term black with an S at the end. But that doesn't logically imply that therefore the term black with an S at the end doesn't come with any baggage, any moral weight, or any
it does.
condemnability.
It depends on the way you use it. The way you used it that someone criticized you for was not bad, I don't think. Or someone used it in here. I don't even know.
I think that we can attribute some levels of wrongness, okay? But like this just like comes to the conclusion that we shouldn't use the terms, right? Like nobody's fucking like canceling me.
Okay, sure,
Nobody's like,
sure. This is
Dean,
ridiculous.
get off the app. Dean, stop your live. You're a total piece of shit because you said Jew with an S at the end earlier. However, like I would believe that those terms come with like some level of wrongness to like the extent of just acknowledging that it's something that we shouldn't do. Like come on, like that's such a reasonable take, bro.
Bro, stop muting me. I'm not even interrupting you. I haven't interrupted you once. You've been
Are
interrupting
you
me.
gonna critique my line of reasoning here?
I just said Dean, I just said I don't think that's using that word is bad.
Okay, so you don't have a refutation of my line of reasoning. You just have a claim that I'm wrong. Nice, buddy.
No, I just told you my line of reasoning. I think that the
Wait,
N-word
wait.
is significantly worse.
Can you critique my line of reasoning?
Critique your line of reasoning. I think, okay, yes, I'll critique your line of reasoning. Using the term blacks with the S at the end of it can be derogatory. It can be. In the sense that one of you or I just used it and someone criticized us for it was not in that sense.
All right, he's not critiquing my line of reasoning, so we're going to move on to the next guest. If you're in that queue, make sure that it means that you support Trump. That guy got fucking gagged. You know, like, I mean, I'm kind of like done, like, with this, like, messaging from the right that, like, if you care about anything and you're on the left, you're just automatically a soy boy, right? You know, like, and we even, like, see this perpetuated by some people on the left. You know, like, even, like, Destiny went, like, full, like, game over mode on me. He was like, like, you know, this Dean guy sucks. His Reddit was doing nothing but talking about me for, like, a month straight because I was like, hey man, microaggressions are cool. You know, it's like we can attribute a level of wrongness to these things, okay? And because we can attribute a level of wrongness to these things, it obviously entails the conclusion that, like, we shouldn't use these terms. We shouldn't say these things, okay? You know, like, let's just be slightly better people. Let's not use these terms. Let's be better, all right, and move on. You know what I mean? But then guess what? World War fucking III. God, man. What's going on, Jake? How do you? You know, like if anything, like the true sensitive babies are the people that get so sensitive when they see others, right, employing like very low levels of critical thought and like recognizing that it's wrong to do some things. Like, what does that make people so sensitive? All right, we're going to go to get the next guest up in here. Everyone just give us a minute. What's going on? Ingrid, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Age, please. Okay, they're under age. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box right now. We got Josiah loading in as we speak. And by the way, if you disagree with a single thing that I said in that last conversation, my challenge to you is to refute the line of reasoning that I gave to justify my beliefs. All right? What's up, Josiah? How old are you?
I am 18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
Great. What month?
Huh?
What month?
What month? May.
May. Sounds good. Okay, real quick. I got to thank a couple people. Milo, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal saying, keep doing the good work. I appreciate that, Milo. That is MYLO. Thank you so much for the love. That is incredibly kind of you. I would also like to show some love to Courtney for the $10 over on Venmo saying that Marty's giving incel. Yeah, duh. I'd also like to show some love to Janelle for the $20 on Venmo saying, I hope this is enough to kick Marty. Well, we got him out of here. Thank you for the love, Janelle. As well as Misty Sin with a $20 saying, please get yourself another anxiety pin. That last guest had me hitting mine hard. Yikes. Yeah, the last guy sucked. Thank you for the $20. As well as Julia with the $10 on Venmo saying that was an insufferable watch. Thank you for putting us out of our misery. Yeah, we got him out of here. He couldn't critique the line of reasoning, so we'll move on to the next guest for a more productive combo. As well as Maggie with the $10 over on Venmo saying, I just need to say if Donald Trump didn't release the files because he was being backed by those that implicated him, this still makes him a bad man. This is a scandal. You can't protect pedos because you are personally benefiting from the pedos, especially as a president. Yo, you cooked, Maggie. Oh my God, beautifully worded. Unreal, beautifully worded. Yo, let's get some claps for Maggie down below. As well as Jesus, Jesus. Fuck, my bad, bro. Jesus, thank you so much, dude. Holy fucking shit. Jesus, thank you for the $50 over on Venmo. Let's get 500 W's for Jesus down below in that comment section. I really appreciate you for the love, Jesus. Show some love to Jesus down below. Jesus says, Dean, thank you for standing up for the truth. MAGA cult members enjoy their red caps, but they clearly wear blue suede shoes. Yeah, these motherfuckers suck, bro. Dude, Donald Trump is an idiot. Thank you for the $50 donation over on Venmo, Jesus. You are the man. And welcome in, Hosea. Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
Why is that?
I just feel like the current state of the left has just gotten to such a bad point from the past few years. Okay. And the fact that Cookie King mogs the fuck out of you.
Okay.
And you're chopped as fuck. Cookie King's a million times better.
All right. Sweet.
I hope you know that.
All right. This is where you leave, right? And it was indeed. I don't think I've ever been wrong about that. All right, guys, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen while we get that next guest up in the box right now. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio, as well as in the pin message over on that YouTube stream. I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms, compared to around 30% here on TikTok or YouTube Super Chat, as well as Callie. Thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying the term black with an S at the end or Jew with the S at the end is racism because it others them and treats a race of people as a monolith. As a white person who's not the subject of that racism, I still don't want to be referred to as the whites. No, yeah, I agree. Like, you know, when people say even when people say like the whites, you know, it's like I kind of cringe there too. You know, I think it's just like cringy to use terms like that. Yeah, indeed. What's going on, Miller? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
Back. 24.
24. Before we hop into our convo, let me thank Theo for the $10 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Theo. Take it away, man. Why do you support Trump?
I support the Republican Party more than I should say I support Trump.
Okay, well,
Because
the
of-
Republican Party doesn't support Trump right now.
Which I have been noticing, and it's very much so piqued my interest over the past few days after the, as you like to call it, the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, like if the Republican Party, if you support the Republican Party and the Republican Party doesn't support Trump, this would imply that you don't support Trump.
So, let me ask you a question, because you ask us a lot of questions.
Right.
So what difference? Where do you think we would be at differently as an economy if Kamala had won?
Yeah, you ask a very fair question, and I think I could answer.
From my perspective, because the reason I ask this, from my perspective, I am someone who makes a lot of my money from stocks and that kind of thing. And since Trump has been elected, I am up a lot more than he was before. Now, to be fair,
look at the NASDAQ composite or the S&P 500. I mean, it's barely broken even.
That's if you invest in those as a whole, correct?
Right,
But
so
if
then you're just
you're
saying that you're like special, like you pick your own portfolio, you're good at what you do, even though like the typical or average market trends are stagnant, you're doing well. I mean, that doesn't really speak to Donald Trump's competent ability to drive the economy in a positive direction. That just speaks to your competent ability as a good investor to know what to invest in.
I would agree with you, but I also think that does speak to the people that he puts in office and that he helps put in place, because those kind of people also dictate the way that the market goes, whether people say they do
but like
or don't.
when you're referring to the market, like you're going to be referring to the market as a whole, okay? Like the market as a whole is not doing well.
The market as a whole isn't doing poor, though.
Yeah, it is. I'd say it's doing poor. I mean, listen, we haven't even broke even in the S&P 500 since his inauguration, and it's like if Biden and Harris if Harris was in office right now, holy fucking shit, we'd be doing great, right? You know, like for instance, we saw stagnation in investment in American industries. Here's a graph from the FRED, and my computer's frozen, so I can't move it. What's going on? There it goes. What the fuck is going on? And now, my camera's all fucked up. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to show you that. But anyways, so I mean, like just objectively speaking here, you know, like we would see more investment into American manufacturing. It was booming under the Biden-Harris administration. The day Trump won the election was stagnant. We'd see better performance in the S&P 500, NASDAQ composite, and markets as a whole. As well as, I mean, we wouldn't be like ballooning our debt and deficit with like $4 trillion bills to increase the taxes on 80% of Americans. Like the economy was in a great place under Biden and Harris. They only passed good economic policy. The day that Donald Trump walks into office, he fucks it up. And if Kamala Harris was elected, things would be significantly better off. Also, y'all, I have not seen anything new on Elon's Twitter. I've been watching it religiously like a hawk. His last tweet was from 53 minutes ago.
So now I'm hearing you say that when he went into office, it went down. And
what specifically did I say that you're responding to?
I'm saying when you're saying that before Trump got into office, the stock market was at one point, and then when he got into office, it went down as a whole. Am I correct in saying? Am I correct in that? In that?
Yeah, his tariffs caused massive dips in confidence, which crashed the markets for like a month. Then he removed the tariffs, and the markets have been rebounding, but they've barely broken even. Right.
Which is true. The tariffs definitely were going to screw up the market if you did not play it correctly. But I would argue that, from my perspective, looking at my portfolio and other portfolios of people I know around me, our portfolios have gone up since he went into office.
Bro, okay,
And
I'm sorry, dude. I'm getting really upset. I think the reason why I'm getting really upset is because I've been on live for 3 hours and 50 minutes debating Trump supporters, and like a lot of the times I debate Trump supporters, I like what I say just goes in one ear and out the other. And like specifically as it relates to your claim that Donald Trump has been good for your portfolio, I've already responded to it like 3 times. I'll respond to it a 4th time. I just want you to hear what I have to say. So that does not speak to Donald Trump's competent ability to guide the markets in a positive direction, because on average, the markets have not been guided in a positive direction. That just speaks to your competent ability as a good investor to be able to make, a silver lining out of the volatility that the markets have experienced so far in his term.
Okay, and I guess that is a fair point. So then what do you think, if Kamala had been elected instead, what do you think the difference would have been? What do you think, how do you think it would have affected properly? Like, what policies would she have put in place that would have properly done that?
Right. I've already answered this question as well. We would have seen a continuation of the same booming trends that we saw in the last 2.5 years of the Biden-Harris administration, with booms in investment and manufacturing, just more all-time highs in the markets. And we would have seen a continued trend of increases in the markets that we saw in the last 2 years of the Biden-Harris presidency. Yep.
I mean, yeah, that is a fair take to have on it. I just personally, I believe that because of Donald Trump getting elected and the people he put in place, it has an economic advantage for our country.
So what have they done that has been an economic advantage for America?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, you cut out.
What have they done that has been an economic advantage for America?
I think his ideas to try and cut what we are spending was good. I think it was poorly executed.
Dude.
I think it was poorly executed.
No, stop. I'm being mean. Continue to speak. I won't interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I think it was poorly executed. I think the ideas he had were extreme, and if they were taken back a little bit, could have had an actual good implication into our world.
You understand that right now there's a civil war between Trump and Elon Musk because Elon Musk was tasked with weeding out wasteful government spending. And then Elon Musk called Donald Trump's policy wasteful government spending. And now there's civil fucking war. Like Donald Trump's BBB, $4 trillion in net related spending, almost twice as much as every penny spent under the Biden-Harris administration in non-COVID related expenditure. Listen, I understand that like Donald Trump had Doge, Kamala Harris didn't. But like Kamala Harris without Doge is better for government expenditure than Donald Trump with Doge. Okay, and that's proved because guess what? Now we have a civil war between Elon and Trump. All because Elon just pointed out the objective fact that Donald Trump was going to balloon our national debt. Like now Donald Trump is even asking for Congress to remove the debt ceiling so he could spend even more and more and more and more and more.
So do you call that a civil war because it's two people of the same party going against each other now?
Yes.
Going back and forth?
Yes, that is. Yep, that's why.
All right, yeah, I guess that's fair. That's fair. And to be fair, a lot of my support behind voting for Trump had to do with Elon being on his side. So this is definitely helping sway my interest, but I'm still definitely on the Republican side.
Okay, why? Because I proved everything that you've said wrong. Why are you still on the Republican side?
Because I'm still making money. And it's still going up for me on my end.
Bro, but you haven't been able to tell me anything that Donald Trump has done to help you make more money. Like, listen.
The people he's put in place.
Listen, I'm sorry. This is seriously like me saying that I can attribute all the money I've made through the donations I received from viewers of this live to Donald Trump's presidency. Like, I've grown my platforms since a year ago under Biden to now under Trump, okay? I went on Jubilee, got 16 million views. I went from 300,000 followers to close to 3 million on my main TikTok account. Went from 50K followers on my Instagram to 1.2 million followers on my Instagram. I have more social notoriety. I mean, shit, as we're having this discussion, we have 12.5 thousand people listening in. A year ago, I only had like 2,000 or 3,000 people listening in, okay? Like, I happen to be like better financially off now than I was a year ago. Okay, like, can I just basically attribute all of that to Trump the same way you are basically attributing your financial success to Trump?
No, but the reason I'm attributing it to that partially is because of the businesses that he supports and the people that he put into office supports.
Okay, who did he put into office and how did they cause you to be richer? Be very specific. Who has he put into what position and how did that benefit you?
Hold on, let me pull up the correct name so I don't get it incorrect for you, but I do have it. Give me one moment.
Yeah. While he's looking for that, oh my God, this conversation's brutal. While he's looking for that, I'd like to thank Samuel for the $10 over Venmo telling me to please check Elon's Twitter. Oh, don't worry, we've been talking about it all day long, Samuel. As well as Sid, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, saying I feel like I missed a whole live, so I bet this has been talked about so much, but OMG, Elon's tweets, I can't. Oh yeah, Sid, we've been talking about it. In fact, we've been doing a lot of celebration too. Shout out to Sid in that chat for the 20. And James, oh my God, James, with the $100 donation over on Venmo saying, keep roasting MAGA. Oh, James, I do not intend to stop anytime soon. Thank you for the love, James. Everybody, please show some love to James down below in that comment section for the $100 donation. Oh my God, as well as Daniel with a $5 donation saying, please drink water. So I actually typically come equipped with water, but today I didn't. I just have an iced coffee. I probably do need to drink water. I'd also like to thank Lidda for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much. All right, so you got an argument now? Guess not. Hello? Hello? All right, we're just going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, give us a minute. Everyone, give us a minute. Let's go ahead and see what our next guest has to say. Hey, what's going on? You support Trump, Jake?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
07.
Great. How do you feel about a Massachusetts high schooler being detained by ICE on their way to volleyball practice?
Before we get into any of that,
Okay.
I'd just like to say I did not contribute to the voting.
Yeah. You wanted because you were 17 at the time. Yeah.
Yes. And
have we already talked?
I don't think so. I think you let me in, but I was doing dishes.
Yeah, I don't remember talking to you either. Chat, did I have like a full conversation with Jake?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Did we? No. Okay. All right, take it away.
All right. How do you feel about the military standpoint?
Military standpoint. What do you mean?
Like for Trump and Joe Biden?
Well, I mean, I don't think that neither Trump or Joe Biden have done like much for the military. They've just kind of continued to operate with a larger budget every year. I mean, I don't know if like presidents ever do too much about the military. They just kind of say that they support it and they step back. Maybe like the biggest difference that we've seen is, like the support for veterans.
Yeah.
Right. Like Biden passed the massive PAC Act, which funded the VA another $800 million per year to provide their services to over 1 million new veterans that they didn't cover under Trump's first term. And then like Trump has rolled back on funding for the VA and cut funding for the VA. So I'd say that there's probably not much of a difference insofar as treatment of military, but there is a difference insofar as treatment of like veterans.
Yeah. So I believe I don't really stand for either of them, honestly, but I believe that Trump's for the service, he knows how to send troops for other places. I feel like the troops were kind of blindlessly roaming around other places. So
so what's your argument?
I just think that Trump can handle our troops better.
Okay, why?
Just because there's a bunch of troops on TikTok and everywhere that I've seen is they've just think they're doing nothing. And now that Trump's in office and 2016 through 2020, but I'd like to hear how you think about that. Cause
I just think that there's no substance to that claim.
Okay.
Why would I just don't think that the draft dodger that is explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution would know how to operate and run the military too well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was short. I just wanted to come on and hear your point of views because I'm going in the military, so I just want to.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Get a better perspective.
the moment that you take that oath to uphold and protect the Constitution is the day that you got to stop supporting Trump because he explicitly called for its termination. But
Yeah.
appreciate you for your time, Mr. Jake. What's up, Stevie? You MAGA?
Hey, what's going on? I would say I support the climate, the culture of the Republicans.
Are you driving?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pull over to the side.
Oh, fuck, Stevie. Just hop back in that queue if you, like, whenever you get to where you're going. Don't feel the need to pull over. If I'm still live by the time where you get to wherever you're going, I'll let you up. All right. Let's see who's next. Who is next? Let's see here. Brianna with the $10 saying, Dean, are you following Greta Thunberg and the 11 other volunteers on their way to Gaza? Loosely. I want to follow them a little bit more closely. I think it's really admirable. As well as Jeff with the $10 saying, keep it coming and don't back down. Never will, Jeff. Thank you for the $10. And Victoria with a 5. I appreciate that. All right. What's going on? Bryce and J Buck, are you guys MAGA?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
19.
What year are you born in?
06.
06. And what time is it?
5.
5. What state are you in?
Alabama.
Alabama. Name 2 cities in Alabama.
Let's see, we got Mobile, Birmingham, Montgomery.
Oh, I hear the southern accent now. At the start, it sounded like a British accent. Don't worry. I know you're from Alabama. Don't worry, Bryce. I know you're from Alabama. Okay, take it away. Why do you support Trump? Why did he leave? He got like through all like the introductory questions, and then he left. What the fuck? God, dude. Oh, man. Okay, all right. By the way, still no statement from Trump about what Elon said. No statement at all. Zero, nada. None. All right. We're going to go to move on to the next guest. Everybody. Let's go to get the next guest up in here. Woo! Okay, this might be the last guest of the live. I said that I'd do like a marathon live. I'm kind of like calming down a little bit, kind of getting tired. Satya, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Let's go ahead and load it up, see what Satya said while we're getting this next guest loaded into the live right now. All right, who is next? If you're in that queue, make sure that means you support Trump. Y'all already know the rules. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see here. Jay is his way. Got you loaded up. Okay, Satya. With $10. Let's see what she says. Here's another 10. Just wanted to make sure that you saw the news saying that Elon retweeted yes, calling for Trump's impeachment. All over the news at the moment. Oh my God. Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't think that they're going to have the spine to do it. I don't think that they're going to have the spine to do it. Man, listen. Donald Trump tried to steal the 2020 election. Yeah, for sure, Matt. Feel free to pop up. And Congress didn't even impeach him then. Did you guys know that? So there was an impeachment case in the American Congress after Donald Trump tried to steal 2020. Now, this was when Biden was the president. And Congress recognized that he tried to steal 2020 because he admitted to it. But they didn't know that they could impeach a prior president that isn't still in office. So they didn't pass it. Isn't that some crazy shit? Let's gonna get that next guest up here. What's going on? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 19.
Do you support Trump?
No, I didn't think I'd get up. But wait. I just want to ask.
What's our man? Welcome.
Hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? So
on?
I'll make this quick. I just wanted to. I think this case has the potential to be like Garcia level because of the nature of it, and people need to know about it because if we make a big deal, as we should, about the due process of Garcia, then this case is doubly so because this person was brought here as a child. He has no crimes. He has nothing going on. He's a good member of his community, and the fact that he's got caught up in this, I think, is an absolute travesty. So, if anybody doesn't know, his name is Marcelo Gomez, and he's from Massachusetts. He was on his way to volleyball practice, and he got picked up by ICE because they were looking for his father. And he was just today released on bond and is out, but he has to go back to his court date and everything. And if you're in the area, if you're in Massachusetts, if you know people who can like contribute to this, I highly recommend that you try to contribute, because this person is a dreamer. He had no knowledge about coming here as a young child. It's not his fault. He has done nothing wrong, and yet he may be sent to a country that he does not know of. And I think that's fucking abominable.
So what's the charge?
Being undocumented. So it's the fact that he's here undocumented.
And you said, is he in DACA?
Well, technically, he's a dreamer. Technically, by the definition of it, because he was brought in as a child. So technically, he's a dreamer, but he's not under DACA. No, but DACA has been in the courts for so long that it really doesn't apply anymore. Anyway,
I really hope that the judge ends up doing what's right and just grants him like a stay or some type of residency.
Well, he has a stay right now. He's been released. He has a stay right now, and he can't be deported anywhere. But it may be months and months and months until they actually get his case through. All I'm saying is that even if the case goes through, we should make it known that he shouldn't be deported at all, because of the fact that he was here undocumented when he was 7 years old. It's not his fault, and for the fact that this is the only country that like he's known. So this is a terrible, terrible offense. I think if we make a big deal, which we should, about due process and all that, this is on that level, because this is a person who has only known the United States as their home, and they'll be sent to a country that they don't know of.
See, this is just this is one of the many reasons why mass deportation is so incredibly immoral. Like if you support deporting this guy, like you just don't have a heart, man. You just don't.
Yeah, he's a no contributor to the community. Goes to church twice a week. He's active in his volleyball. He was supposed to go to state, or he wanted to know if they went to state. I mean, he was on his way to practice, for God's sakes, right? I mean, he's someone who is as ingrained in America as anybody else, and yet they picked him up simply for the fact that they were looking for his father, and they found out that like he too is undocumented. So like, hey, why not? If you can support this person going back to a country that they had never known of, he was 7 years old. He has no idea. He probably didn't even speak the language, and yet we want to like send him back. I think that is absolutely insane. So if you're somebody who's like very interested in this, or you're in Massachusetts, people are staging walkouts. People are staging in schools walkouts. They're like going and they're like peacefully protesting. I think that's how we do it, because of the fact that this has to be known that you simply cannot deport someone who is like 17 and who has known this country for all their lives. Like it's just wrong.
I agree, 110%.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right.
really hope he
Well,
doesn't
thank
end
you.
up getting deported.
Yeah.
That's so heartbreaking.
All right.
Man.
Thank you, Dean.
Yeah, of
Yep.
course. I appreciate you for joining and bringing that up, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Dean.
It's just so incredibly heartbreaking. It's so fucking heartbreaking. And it's like there's so many things that are going on right now and have been in like American politics that, stuff like that gets overshadowed. Like right now that's getting overshadowed by the fact that Trump is on the Epstein files, and the only reason he hasn't let them be released, even though he promised it, is because he's on them. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many bad things going on in America. We need to, remember to not forget about, like this 19-year-old, the 17-year-old being deported, and how incredibly terrible that is. You know what I mean? That's why I think that it's really important for us to all be involved in our local communities. Because the way that I think about it, if we are all involved in, like nationwide politics, talking about Trump and whatnot, but also very involved in like local politics, there won't be any issue that's overlooked. You know what I mean? So I think it's important. If I could recommend you guys to do one thing today, it's to be more deported in local politics tomorrow than you were yesterday, right? Because it matters. It really matters. All right, everybody. I am going to go ahead and end my live now. But before we do, so don't leave yet. Today was nuts. Holy crap. Okay, let's recap over a couple of things. So we figured out that Trump is named on the Epstein files, confirmed by somebody in the administration, Donald Trump's right-hand man. We know that the only reason why he didn't want to release them is because he was named in the Epstein files. We know that Elon Musk thinks that Donald Trump should be impeached. We know that. What else do we know? Oh, we know that Elon Musk, big, beautiful businessman, that's everything that the right has been saying, thinks that Donald Trump's tariffs are going to cause a recession in the latter half of this year. What a crazy day. What a crazy day it was. Okay. All right. Well, let's find somebody to raid. Let me load up TikTok. And guys, if you want to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord, you can find them in the link tree in my bio. As soon as Donald Trump, posts a response to what Elon's been saying, it'll be blasted on my Instagram story and in my Discord. So I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date with what's going on. Follow me on Instagram, and join my Discord. And I might even end up doing like a shorter live later on Instagram, just kind of covering what his response would be. Because one can only assume that he'll end up giving it a response today. Okay, I'm actually going to send you guys over to somebody's live that you may not know. And I want you guys to give her like the biggest raid ever. So their name is Xena. And right now they're debating people that think like racial science is true. So their background is racial science is false. And Xena is an incredibly educated, smart individual. In fact, she debated Jordan Peterson too. So the spelling of the username is ZINAAWEENAA. I need to put y'all on to Xena, okay? She also does feminism debates. She does God debates. She does abortion debates. And she knows her shit. She knows her shit. So I'm gonna say out the spelling of the name, and then if you guys could spam into the comment sections, I'll pin it. So that is ZINAAWEENAA. ZINAAWEENAA. There it is. So that's her @. It's in the pin message right now. If you want to see some more debates, y'all should all go head over to Xena's account. So before we started the raid, she had like 130 people in there. Right now she's at 700. If we could get her to like 2,000 or 3,000, okay, that'd be based. That'd be so based. And she's over on TikTok. So yeah, join my Discord and follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting updates about Donald Trump's response to this nonsense. And go raid Xena. Once again, it's pinned on TikTok and spammed in the YouTube live comment section. Once again, that's all her TikTok accounts. So love you all. Please go show her some love. She's a great debater. She deserves the she really deserves the attention. I'm gonna put y'all on. But love you guys. I'm gonna go and head out for the evening. Bye-bye. Bye, YouTube.